Hello my friends and viewers. Today I'm going to review my new Italian premium jet fighter Ariete, which was built in Italy by the Ariete company in 1958. It started as an upgraded variant of the Sagittario 2 fighter. However, it was notably different, and I will show you how it is different from Sagittario and why it is placed on 9.3. This plane is pretty unique because instead of having an afterburner or some other sort of war emergency power, it has a secondary engine. Yes, it has two engines, one Rolls-Royce Derwent main engine with 1540 kilograms of thrust, and one secondary engine, Rolls-Royce SOA, with 760 kilograms of thrust. The secondary engine is activated with the W button, which normally activates war emergency power or afterburner if your plane has them. And after you press the button, the cooling, don't really know how to call it. Oh, no. The cooling sleeve of the secondary engine rises from the. It is placed at the back of the cockpit, beyond cockpit. And when you activate the secondary engine, the cooling sleeve rises up and opens, and the thrust parameter in the top left corner will show 110% of thrust instead of 100. With the secondary engine, your plane is capable of flying, of reaching 1060 kilometers per hour in the horizontal flight, which is subsonic, but nearly. So, which is somewhere near the sonic speed, and it also gives you an edge over the Sagittario plane, which lacks the secondary engine and is slower than Ariete. Your main ornament is comprised of two 30mm long-barreled cannons, which have pretty good ballistics, and if you learn well after some training, you will be able to easily hit even fast moving targets. These cannons are pretty capable of fighting against enemy jets thanks to the high round velocity, and now I will show you the destruction of enemy Harrier with those cannons. Unfortunately, you have no missiles. However, one might ask, do you really need any missiles when most missiles on this BR are pretty poor, and you already have a very quick and agile jet fighter, which is capable of gaining altitude very quickly and has a pair of magnificent cannons. The only downside of these cannons is the small ammo pool, which is limited at 240, 120 shells per each gun. The guns also have pretty high fire rate, which means that you will spend your ammo quickly, and you will have to to visit the airfield quite often for reloading. Now I am going to kill the second enemy plane with a short burst. Well, as for a jet plane, this aircraft has excellent maneuverability, and as a result, you are capable of outturning most of your enemies, and also you are capable of dodging most of the early missiles which you will face when you will get down-tiered. Mostly, as for 9-3BR, I really like this plane, and it also pretty unique in its own right. Uh, Also, one might know, might ask what are well. Uh, After the last update, I guess I might be wrong. The Italians also got a new top tier plane, the F-104 ASA, which is a modification of the American F-104 Starfighter fighter interceptor. But unlike its American counterpart, it has a better radar like the one on the late starfighters, and is also capable of carrying not only late AIM 9L sidewinders, but also unique Italian Aspide missiles, which are radar guided. They can lock on their targets from 30 kilometers. Their maximum overload is 35G, and they are capable of traveling up to 80 kilometers to reach their targets, which is a record in the game, and also makes those missiles better than the ones than the Phoenix missiles found on F-14 Tomcat. And if you get Ariete, you will also get a nice premium jet to research the F-104 ASA. So now we are going to land. As you can see, the cooling sleeve of the secondary engine is in retracted position. There was also a third, unfortunately this plane never left the prototype stage, only two were built. And there was also a plan to build the next variant, Aerfe Leone, which was to be equipped with a rocket secondary engine instead of a secondary turbojet. By the way, the SOAR engine, which is used as a secondary engine in the tail of Ariete, was also used as an engine for for some early American cruise missiles, which the Russian, like those that the Russians now use to bomb my home city Odessa, which is regarded by some as the most strategic city of the southern Ukraine. Please support Ukraine in whatever way you can. If you can donate, please donate money to the special accounts created by the Ukrainian government and also Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, and to projects like Army of Drones. If you can now, I will, as you can see, the coolant sleeve gets retracted now, but now I turn on the secondary engine and it rises, so that the secondary engine can be cooled. Now I'm going to turn off the secondary engine and it will retract. Yes, the coolant sleeve retracts, and now it rises again because I turned on the secondary engine. Basically, the both engines on Ariete plane are pretty cool, one might say. I mean, they never overheat. Well, as far as I just bought this plane in anticipation of my birthday, and I never noticed those the overheating of those engines. So basically, if you want to, you can fly with the secondary engine on all the time. The only downside is the increased consumption of fuel. But anyway, the 34 minutes of fuel is more than enough for most War Thunder games. And well, you can turn off the secondary engine when you are diving to prevent ripping off your wings. However, this plane is pretty durable as far as the horizontal speed goes. It's capable of making sharp turns at 1000 kilometers per hour, which is almost the top speed of this plane. And the last enemy MiG gets killed and flies off in an arc. So I had won this round. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe. Slava Ukraini!